One of the most frequent questions we get asked of people looking to start up a company is, which structure do they use, sole trader or limited company? And the answer, I'm afraid, is it depends. It depends on your circumstances. There's no right or wrong answer there. It's just, it depends. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging there. I'm going to take you through all the options, all the differences, so that you can make an informed decision. So first of all, tax efficiency. Obviously, this is probably one of the things that people look at the most. And again, that depends. It depends on if it's just you and a partner, or there's more people. It depends on the sort of profit you're looking to make. Not necessarily in year one, but over the course of the period of your business. And I can't say one way or the other which one is better for you without knowing these things. As a sole trader, there's no distinction between you and your business. It's just one legal entity. All the debts relating to the business, therefore, are your debts. And if you then can't repay those debts, your personal assets, like your house, could be at risk. I'm not trying to say this to scare you. I'm just trying to make you informed so that you're aware that this is possible. But it also does mean that you rely on your own personal credit rating to borrow money. So good or bad, that will affect your business. Losses can be offset against employment income. So this is good if you're doing your business on the side of a main employment, and first few years you've got losses where you're setting it up. You can then offset that against your employment and get a nice tax rebate, assuming you've paid tax, of course. You will not need a separate bank account for your business, but it is recommended for good practice, and trust me, your accountant will definitely thank you for that. And because it's just you one entity, that means there's less paperwork and therefore lower accountancy fees. You just need to file a tax return with HMRC every year. So that's the basics of a sole trader. A limited company. A limited company is a separate legal entity, so it's separate from you. Therefore, the debts of the company belong to the company, not you. So your personal loss will be limited to whatever you put into the company. So, for example, when you're setting up, you may put some money in as a lump sum, or you may purchase equipment and things like that, and the company will then repay you. Obviously, if you close the company when it's in a loss and that hasn't been repaid, that's what you'll lose. Your personal assets, therefore your house, your car, etc., won't be at risk. Apart from one little caveat I will throw in, unless you've used a personal guarantee for any of the loans. That could be when, but obviously you'll know that before you go ahead. The company can establish its own credit rating, so that's really good. So if your personal credit rating isn't too great, your company will establish its own, and it will take from there. Obviously, initially, day one, it will use your own as a director or directors if there's more than one of you. However, as the company grows and it becomes more established, the company will create its own credit record. You do need a separate bank account for a limited company. You can't use your own. And it's also worth noting, if you're going from sole trader to limited company, that you will need a separate business account. You can't just transfer the one you've got already. Any losses can be offset against either previous years or future years of the company. So you still get the loss relief, but it's just not as immediate as potentially a sole trader. Obviously, one of the drawbacks with a limited company is there is more paperwork. You're registered with Companies House as well as HMRC, so you need to file formal accounts every year with Companies House. You need to file a corporation tax return and then personally a tax return as well. And there's a lot more involved, so therefore, obviously, your accountancy fees will be higher. But then you've got other things to consider as well. So what is it you want out of your business? What is your end goal? Are you looking to sell it? Are you looking to pass it on to a family member? Are you looking to get investors? Things like that. Certain investment will require you to be a limited company for people to invest into it. If you're looking to sell, usually, I'm not saying this is always the case, but usually it's more sellable as a limited company as well. So there's things there to consider as well. It's not just where you are right now, it's where you're going to be down the line. It's also worth noting here that if you've got employees, you can do that under either. If you need to be VAT registered, it can be done under either. And one misconception we see a lot is if you're a limited company, you have to be VAT registered. That is not true either. You only have to be VAT registered once you hit the 85,000 threshold in a rolling 12 months. And that could be either or. So there's some things to consider. Then you've also got to consider who you're working with. Is it the general public? Is it business to business? What types of businesses will you be working with? Are you going to be working with other small businesses? Are you going to be working with large corporations? Sometimes the large corporations will require you to be a limited company. And they will also potentially require you to be VAT registered as well. So there's things to think about there as well. Who are you going to be working with? Will they care if you're sole trader or limited company? Some people do feel a limited company is more credible. It's got more longevity. A sole trader could be seen as a one-man band and not very reliable. This is not me. I'm just saying what we've seen. So it's, again, who are you working with? What will their perception of you be to then work out what you need to be? So there's all the information. If you want to have a chat and go through, depending on your circumstances, then please do get in touch. Depending on where you're watching this, either drop me a DM, or if you're watching it on YouTube or a blog, then below there should be a link to work with us. Pop over onto there, complete the quick questionnaire, and then you can book a link. There'll be a link at the end, to book a discovery call with me. So it'd be great to have a chat about your plans and your future business and how we can help you. Thank you.